More than any other issue tonight, State of the Union viewers want to hear President Trump talk about foreign policy and national security. That's according to a new CBS News poll of Americans planning to watch the president's address. Foreign policy came in just ahead of jobs and the economy, followed by health care and working with Democrats. Central to that section of the speech will be ISIS. Late last year, President Trump tweeted a video in which he claimed the terrorist group had been defeated, only to be contradicted by his intelligence chiefs weeks later.
We've been fighting for a long time in Syria. I've been president for almost 2 years, and we've really stepped it up. And we have won against ISIS. We've beaten them, and we've beaten them badly. We've taken back the land, and now it's time for our troops to come back home.
ISIS will continue to be a threat to the United States.
They're still dangerous, which is your point, and they're the largest Sunni terrorist group, and they still command thousands of fighters in Iraq and Syria.
Joining me now from Washington is Nicholas Heras. He is a Middle East Security Fellow at the Center for a New American Security, a bipartisan think tank specializing in national security issues. Thanks so much for joining us, Nick. So who's right? Is ISIS defeated?
ISIS is far from defeated, and President Trump would do well to listen to his generals and his intelligence professionals. The fact of the matter is that ISIS is preparing to reemerge in Iraq and Syria. And in Afghanistan, ISIS is carving out a safe haven for itself. ISIS is also expanding in Africa and has active affiliates in Southeast Asia. The global war against ISIS is nowhere near complete.
Well, President Trump has used his claim that ISIS is defeated as grounds to pull troops out of Iraq and Syria. But in his interview with Face the Nation moderator Margaret Brennan, he suggested he may be changing course in Iraq. Let's listen.
Well, we spent a fortune on building this incredible base. We might as well keep it. And one of the reasons I want to keep it is because I want to be looking a little bit at Iran, because Iran is a real problem.
Whoa, that's news. You're keeping troops in Iraq because you want to be able to strike in Iran?
No, because I want to be able to watch Iran. All I want to do is be able to watch. We have an unbelievable and expensive military base built in Iraq. It's perfectly situated for looking at all over different parts of the troubled Middle East. Rather than pulling up, and this is what a lot of people don't understand, we're going to keep watching.
So this was news to Iraq's president. He said in response, quote, "Don't overburden Iraq with your own issues. The U.S. is a major power, but do not pursue your own policy priorities. We live here." How important is Iraq's cooperation to America's foreign policy goals?
Iraq is one of the most vital states to U.S. Middle East security policy. Without Iraq, the United States does not have a cohesive strategy to take on ISIS, but also to have influence over events in one of the most strategic regions of the world. President Trump's statements are interesting because, in effect, he seems to be channeling internal government dialogue about why the United States is even in Iraq in the first place and how the United States intends to have influence in Iraq. But the fact of the matter is that Iran is Iraq's neighbor. Iran has long-standing historical and security interests in Iraq, and that the best the United States can hope for is to fight Iran to a draw in Iraq, to maintain strong U.S. influence in Iraq, while limiting Iran's ability to use Iraq as a wheel to expand its destabilizing activities in the Middle East.
So President Trump often mentions the threat posed by Iran. How real is that threat?
Iran has expanded its activities throughout the Middle Eastern conflicts. You have Iranian-backed proxies in Syria, in Yemen, and in Lebanon. And the fact of the matter is that Israel and Iran have escalated their activities against each other in Syria. There is a real risk of a region-shattering war based out of Syria because of Israeli and Iranian conflict and competition.
All right, Nicholas Heras from the Center for a New American Security. Thanks very much.
Thank you.